Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. Today I want to answer one of the most asked questions when someone is doing no contact and they want to get their ex back. And that question is, when will my ex contact me? So it's good to be hopeful and think in terms of when will he contact me as opposed to will he or she contacts me. And you know what? If you do no contact, more often than not, you will hear from your ex. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to want to get back together. Let me be clear about that. But at some point, the majority of the time, you will hear from them. And when is going to be determined by many factors. So let me go through some of them. Now, if it's a fake breakup, where they didn't really want to break up with you, but they were frustrated with you, they just did it on the spur of the moment, they're trying to be manipulative, they're trying to get you to change, and they think this is the best way to do it, to scare you by telling you that it's over, and you immediately go into no contact, more often than not, you'll hear from them within 1 or 2 weeks. So that's how you know it's a fake breakup, when you hear from them right away, when they don't hear from you. That's why it's important to just say okay and immediately go into no contact. If you've heard my video about the 30-day no contact rule being BS, then you also know that you're most likely to hear from your ex within 45 to 60 days after the point of last contact. Okay, so it's not from when you broke up, because if you broke up and then you contacted them 2 weeks later, now you have to start counting again. But if you said okay when they broke up with you and immediately went into no contact, you start counting from that day, and very likely you hear from them 45 to 60 days after they broke up with you. Now, obviously not everyone falls into these two categories. Some exes you never hear back from for whatever reason, and then there are the ones that take a little longer or a lot longer. So you hear about people hearing back from their ex 4 months later, 6 months, 9 months. And it's possible that they went on and had a relationship, a rebound, and it didn't work out, and they're contacting you again to see if you're still interested, or just to get some validation, to boost their self-esteem, to boost their ego. Or they really were adamant about breaking up with you, and then because you were so good at doing no contact, they remembered the good times, the memories, and they eventually thought, okay, fine, I will reach out. Now, in the meantime, they might be reaching out by liking some of your posts on social media, or by viewing your Instagram stories or your Snapchat, and that's considered a soft reach out, very soft. You don't react to that, and maybe they want you to reach out and that's why they're doing it. And sometimes they're just curious and they want to see what you're up to, but they're not necessarily interested in being in contact with you or getting back with you. So that's why, until you have a clear signal that they are interested in getting back with you, you should not respond to any communication from them, no matter when they reach out, whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, or much longer. Because a lot of the times they just want to see if you're going to respond, and then they disappear again, and you don't want that. And you pretty much know from the message that they leave whether they might possibly consider getting back with you, or whether they're just reaching out of curiosity or to see why you haven't contacted them. But if you're not sure, you can always reach out to me via my website, theartoflove.net. We can set up a private coaching session, and we can decide what you should do next, whether you should respond or just leave them alone, because you don't want to respond if they're not interested in getting back together. You're just otherwise going to reassure them that you're there for them, and that's the last thing you want to do, because it's anxiety and missing you that's going to cause them to want to get back with you. So as I mentioned, you can reach me at my website, theartoflove.net, if you'd like to work with me personally. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you for subscribing. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.